Wait, sorry, the microphone's like a million miles from my mouth. Bowl first, yes. Bowl first. Bowl first. Jarrod Kimber. What on earth were Mumbai doing in their batting power play? Punjab also played in this game. And no, I'm not talking about the fact that Ishan Kishan was promoted up the order. I can understand slight little adjustments, and you can agree with them or just... That had nothing to do with how they batted. The way that they batted was something... It was a mindset. It was... what's the phrase that everyone likes at the moment? Intent merchant. They were the anti-intent merchant. The other thing that everyone says about T20 cricket is, oh, he was stat padding. They were anti-stat padding as well. They somehow managed to not score runs and do it slowly. At one stage, Moses Enriquez bowled a 120km/h wobbler, leg stump full toss, and Rohit Sharma knocked it, gently caressed it to long on for one. Why? Why was this happening? Why was this happening? Punjab started with 2 part-timers, and not just like shock value. No, not shock value. They bowled the first 5 overs of the innings. They were the entire value. And Mumbai played them like it was Sid Barnes and Murali bowling, I don't know, explosive Fabergé eggs or something. It makes no sense at all the way that they batted in that power play. This isn't Mumbai's first time in this wicket. They are like the world's leading experts on this wicket at this stage. They know everything you need to know about it. And so they know that basically the only time it's easy to score runs is with the new ball. And so they decided to score slower with the new ball that any team has in this tournament so far. Now, obviously, a lot of these stats up on the screen right now are from Lenketti. But have a look at the Mumbai ones. They've scored runs before. Big runs, medium runs. Today they scored no runs. And Punjab doubled them. Just doubled them. And do you know who the Kings faced? Trent Bolt. Jasprit Bumrah. They weren't facing Deepak Hooda and Moses Enriquez, were they? And they faced them for 5 overs. 5! And you might be thinking, well, 5 overs of part-time bowling. You know, there was tactical and there was a reason there and all these sorts of things. And maybe it took them by surprise and it took them a while to recalibrate. Couldn't have taken them by surprise because Punjab literally stole this exact script of Delhi. This is exactly what Delhi did to Mumbai. Start with Marcus Stoinis, you know, a part-time medium-pace right-arm bowler, and use an off-spinner at the other end. A bit of a part-timer / full-time off-spinner. It's the exact same plan. They just yanked it from Delhi. Mumbai had seen it before. Moses Enriquez, I mean, I'm not a fan of his bowling. I've never been a fan of his bowling. He is a career ordinary right-arm seamer. He's a 5th bowler when like a hurricane has hit your team. Like he'd be a 5th bowler in like Rajasthan now because they got no one left, for instance. He's a 6th bowler more often than not. If you can get away with him being a 7th bowler, which the Sydney Sixers try and do a lot, then I think that's the most ideal way to play Moses Enriquez. And look who he's bowling to. He's bowling to Quinton de Kock, Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan. Why did this happen? It's as if somehow Mumbai have convinced themselves that 140 is a par total on this pitch. The more they play on it, it's almost like the more defensive they get. They believe that Jasprit Bumrah is so good that he can defend any total. You know, maybe they're going to make 10 in the next game and just see what he can do with it. It's ridiculous. Bat! You got plenty of batting. The batting hasn't disappeared. I'm not even sure that they had to change that batting order, although I understand that they were trying to allow Sky to attack the spinners a bit more in the middle. Although, you know, that didn't massively happen, did it? There's nothing wrong with their batting order. They just haven't made runs yet. They just need to go out there and bat the way that they should bat. Not that. Never do that. That was terrible. And one thing I was thinking, the absolute worst thing that could happen is that Punjab could have actually, you know, failed to chase that. Imagine that. Imagine how few runs Mumbai would have tried to score in the following game. At least they, I hope, got their head shake. I mean, Rohit looked like a ghost at the end of this game. The press conference he gave was just bizarre. But, you know, it wasn't as bizarre as the batting his team put up. Let us quickly focus on Punjab just for a moment. Forget their batting, because they weren't chasing many runs and they still did it weirdly. And let's just move that aside for a little bit here. Ravi Bishnoi. I'm not the world's expert on Ravi Bishnoi. I assumed he wasn't playing at Wankhede because it was Wankhede and it didn't really suit leg spin. Then when he missed the first game here, I thought maybe he's got an injury. Maybe there's something I don't know. And then he played in this game and he bowled really well. And I was like, I'm going to have to do a little bit more diving here. I'm going to have a look. Let's keep this real simple. He's a leg spinner. And as you would assume, he has so far in his IPL career taken wickets. He's a wicket taker. In fact, over the Kings' last 2 years, he's taken the second most wickets of any of them. That's what you would expect. It's right here. You can see it's a very good average. He's done very, very well when it comes to taking wickets. He didn't play in the last game. That's really good. Let's have a look at his economy. Maybe his economy is really bad, and that's what that is. I don't know what to tell you. It seems odd. It seems completely on brand for the Kings' muddled thinking so far. You know, they can't, weird Australian bowlers in the auction and then throwing them all in together, getting one of them to bat number 7. Their fascination with Moses Enriquez, and don't take this game as proof that it worked. Chris Gayle still batting at 3. All these sorts of things, this sort of mixing and matching, and then you've just got this young leg spinner with lots of energy on the ball, and you play your first game in Chennai and you don't pick him? I don't know. Now, his numbers are clearly UAE assisted. Don't know if anything's ever been UAE assisted before, but now it is. But the Chennai wicket matches that. I don't understand. I feel like my head has exploded. I feel somewhere around the point of Rohit Sharma playing and missing to Moses Enriquez, my entire worldview changed, and not in a positive way. And let's be honest, let's just go back to Mumbai, because well done to the Kings for winning a game, but Mumbai, let's focus on Mumbai. They were rancid. I mean, their batting, the power play, kind of the middle, and most of the end. I don't know what they were waiting for in the end. They seem absolutely petrified that their middle order can't bat, despite the fact that their middle order has been their strength for so long. I don't know if it's just this Chennai pitch is just, done something with their head. I cannot tell you. Their entire innings just was wrong. It was wrong. And then what about their bowling? They've got to go out there and put on their best performance with the ball. Krunal Pandya bowls the second over, and his second and third ball are short. Trent Boult bowls a head-high full toss with a newish ball. Can we blame the Jew for that? I mean, we'd like to blame the Jew for that. Has Trent Boult ever bowled many worse balls than that in his entire life? What about the misfields around the boundary? At one stage, was it Ishan Kishan just throwing the ball as hard as he could at the stumps, despite the fact there was no one backing up? Everyone seemed a little bit lost in the field for them, from beginning to end. And let me tell you just a little bit of a game I felt fascinating. There's a couple of times when they actually had the Kings, they had Gayle and Rahul just slipping behind the rate. Now, I always thought that they would catch up to it, especially with wickets in hand, but you don't know on this pitch, do you? So there's a couple of times when that happened. The first time I thought Gayle did very well to get them back in front of the rate. The second time they brought Yadav around the wicket to bowl very fast and very straight at Chris Gayle and see what they could have done. Chris Gayle hit him for a 6, and we were like, oh, well, that's Chris Gayle. Then there were 4 dot balls. 3 of them beat Chris Gayle. The next over, KL Rahul is facing Krunal Pandya. Now, KL Rahul is struggling with Krunal Pandya, but he finally gets off strike. There are 7 consecutive dot balls and then a single. And my analyst brain starts to think, this is a couple more good balls here. Just get the ball in the right area. Let Gayle try and play the big shot here. He's going to want to do that. He's got the good matchup here. He's going to think that he can do this, but he might hit it to one of the deep sweepers. Krunal Pandya did not do that. He bowled wide. Okay. Next ball, he bowled 1, and Chris Gayle mishit it out to the leg side. There was probably 2 for most batters. There was maybe 1.5 for Chris Gayle. Jasper Bumrah misfielded it, and it went for 4. Okay. Krunal Pandya's still got a miss hit out of Gayle. Went along the ground, but it wasn't his best shot. He then bowls 2 more wides. So since Chris Gayle has gone on strike, we've had 1 legal ball, of which is in total has gone for 7 runs. Krunal Pandya's next ball is a waist high full toss. Weirdly enough, it almost gets Gayle out court and run out. That was Mumbai's night. That's what they did consistently. It was just putrid, rancid dross consistently. They looked absolutely rattled by playing in Chennai. This is Mumbai, like the best team in this league and in T20 cricket, and maybe in T20 cricket history. And they are currently playing like the sport is new and they don't understand it. We'll see you here tomorrow.